It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8, brought to you by Eswatini TV. I'm Sanipo Ngongwane with Zamanzi Mazi. We're coming to you live from our Hospital Hill studios in Mbabane, and for our top stories at 8, let's take a look. The Minister for Labour and Social Security says his ministry is aware of the issues around the wage negotiations in the textile and apparel sector. The Ministry of Housing Portfolio Committee in the House of Assembly has asked the Minister of Housing to suspend local government elections because the country is preparing for national elections this year. And the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade says companies invested 440 million in the country this financial year, creating 490 jobs. Hello again, and for the news in detail, the Minister for Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambogine, says Microprojects has been able to complete 33 projects out of 362. The Minister says 314 of these projects are infrastructure development projects, while 48 are income-generating projects. The Minister was speaking when presenting an annual report of the Ministry's performance report.
The Minister for Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambogine, in his preamble, provided a comprehensive report of the things that the Ministry was able to achieve. This includes the project that Microproject was able to implement. Dr. Gina stated that about 33 projects, which includes income generation projects, are already completed. The Portfolio Committee of the Ministry of Economic Planning and Development in the House of Assembly raised concerns about the ICC and fish. Some members of Parliament asked the Minister that when will they decide to make the project viable. Some raised concerns about the Sekupa Airport, that it cannot afford to be a standalone as it is draining a lot of money.
Can the Honourable Minister, through your chair, ask Chele Lokse, but out about decide delay in Loguzi, says Funa ibe viable yosebe. One of the things, let's start bonang agutsi, I will appoint the prospective operator. Ngeke wakhe involenje uyiqedze kungadiwa ukuthi ungena abana zange sekwentiwe.
99% yile 99%, 55% yile 55%, because again the percentage may have my economic implications in terms of kuphela kwana umsebenzi bahlomshana sebakhuluma ngabo.
Now ubuka lelive libuyela nini kuno ukulalia ufike linormalize khona sithi okunani lemaswati lidle maselo lidla yini nyalo lengaphandle kude kuhle.
Minister Gina stated that the ministry was able to use 1.5 billion emalangeni. During the time of compiling this report, the House was still in session and the minister had not responded to the questions. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni with Temba Shabangu, Parliament.
The Ministry of Housing Portfolio Committee in the House of Assembly has asked the Minister of Housing to suspend local government elections because the country is preparing for the national elections this year. The Portfolio Committee was debating the Ministry's performance report for the 2022-2023 financial year.
Today, the Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Prince Milane, appeared before the Minister of Housing Portfolio Committee in the House of Assembly to deliver a performance report of his ministry for the last quarter of the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Members of the committee asked the minister that they should stop with the local government elections that are supposed to be staged in the kingdom later this year. The members are saying the king, during the speech from the throne, only spoke about the national elections and everything else should be suspended.
There is really no need to spend hard-earned taxpayers' money and run an election in these towns. Minister have the power to run the town as long as he wants. He has done it with Matapa. He has done it with all the towns. To a very interesting thing, labanye balabantu lakababekile actually lost ukhetho luphelile. Really, there is nothing kulendvole. Lendvo yamadolobha lokhetha shemela. Wale kulamavela nemaphathi. It's very serious for them because winning eldo. It doesn't really matter. Sinathi kudla lapha mntwana enkosi.
Ukhuta nje into ethenga ngendeki. Ngoba zetendeka bese kuba likhulu kusajikisa njani. Siyathemba ukuthi kuvakele Chair. Angeke kuqhubeke impela. Kugcizelela nje lokunye lokukhulunywa ngumhlonishwa amadala nanami bengithi ngubhalile. Litiko lithini plan ngenzaba affordable housing. Ubekuse ngabo 26. Lapho vele bekubuka usananga usaqala kusebenza uyakhona ukuthi uthenge lapha kwendlanyana na ukhone kungakudeleli ophekurent.
By the time of compiling this report, the minister was yet to respond to some of the questions that were posed by the legislators. The MPs are saying the 10 million in Malanga that has been budgeted for Buhleni development should be used to install some street lights because this town is darker, especially at night. The minister has been also asked to construct some toilets in Buhleni. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Lincoln Kule with Skumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
The Minister of Works Portfolio Committee in the House of Assembly has asked the Ministry to review the usage of pole-based. The legislators believe that there's no value for money in this technology. The committee was debating the ministry's performance report for the last quarter of the 2022-2023 financial year.
The Minister for Public Works and Transport, Chief Latla Zandwande, appeared before the Ministry of Public Works and Transport's Portfolio Committee in the House of Assembly to deliver a performance report of his ministry for the last quarter of the 2022-2023 fiscal year. The minister says we need to prepare for climate change.
Indzaba yekuguquka kwesimo selitulu sihleti nayo seyingcenye yethu. Kuyafanele ukuthi ngaso sonke isikhathi sitilungiselele ngoba kakhulu sikuva letimvula nathi tinkulu. Angathi ukuthi singakhethana emkhathini wetimvula letinkulu nesomiso.
Legislators asked the minister to suspend the usage of the pro-based technology. The MPs asked the minister if he does see value for money in this project.
Ukuthi i-cost benefit analysis yalo mgwaqo lo kanje nasi ucathanisa naleminye imihlobo yemigwaqo ithini. Are we getting value for money ngalo pro-base? Ngikhulunyiswa yini elo sesihlalweni itolo ngizitha ngiphume ngala kulele ngikhuluma ngako ukuthi samthola silibombo lo 9.2 kilometers ngizitha ngiphuma nje ngakhona lo mgwaqo lo ya uphela ngalendlela ukuthi nabasawakha baye bathi bawufika le labaya khona la ngemva kubese kufunakala ukuthi baphinde bawuchibele nyalo nje so unema defects lamanenge bakhona bona sayithini bayolungisa kwala ngikhanze khona kugujwa umgodzi kufakwe ematshe uyabona ukuthi ekuqaleni bekungakentiwe.
Ngangmelapha ngikhuluma khona la ndlini. Ngasa siyekele lento ibasikontela le pro-base. Uthi uyofika le kube sekugugile ngala. Ngacela ngasi yini okungathathwa noma ngi3 ama kilometers noma ikilometer kufakwe esikontela kumiwe lapho kuchutshekelwa kumbe kule indzawo. Lo munye umnyaka aphinze kuchutshekelwa lapho kuyaze ngabe sekwahlangana.
By the time of compiling this report, the minister was yet to respond to the questions posed by the legislators. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Lincoln Kule with Skumbuzo Dlamini in Parliament.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Kumalo, says companies have invested 440 million Malangeni in the country this financial year, creating 490 jobs. The minister said this during the preamble when tabling the ministry's annual performance report, before the Portfolio Committee in Parliament. The minister was represented by the Minister for Health, Lee Zinkosi.
The minister explained some of the projects this financial year's budget has been used for.
In the current fiscal year, the approved capital budget for the ministry is at 307,389,000. The amount is distributed amongst 5 projects. Construction and factory shell, which is M346/99. Rehabilitation of National Handicraft Training Center, M354/99, and Market Access and Trade Facilitation Project M351/99.
Kukanyeni Member of Parliament Malavisi Hlongonyane says factory shells should be decentralized, whilst Nzingeni Member of Parliament Lutfo Dlamini says factory shells are also a good investment as they create job opportunities, uplifting the country's economy.
umsebenzi eminingi itinto enzawonye kanti lemakhaya sayidzinga le misebenzi. Bahlonishwa bakhulumile bakhuluma nzabadema factory shells. Mina ke umcondo wami uthi asifuni iParliament iphindze uthi kunema factory shells lahleli lapha nalapha. I-factory shell iyawakhiwa ngoba investors okhona.
The issue of factory shells, ngicela lele bawubonge nkosini bafike basikhutele libayethe. This is what we need to actually spearhead the development at Nkundleni.
At the time of compiling this report, the minister was yet to present his responses to the committee. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Skhumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
The Minister for Labour and Social Security, Philip Telezi, says his ministry is aware of the issues around wage negotiations in the textile and apparel sector. The minister says the ministry is working on commissioning a wage council. Telezi was speaking during a field visit to different companies in Matsapa.
The Minister for Labour and Social Security, Philip Telezi, continued on Friday with a field visit of different companies in Matsapa. The minister visited security companies where some of the existing issues are around the growing concern of mushrooming security companies who receives preferences over security companies who have vast experience.
Industry ya security lesikutholile sisahambela letinkampani.
Minister Buthelezi says employees are concerned with wages and working hours. The minister stated that the purpose of his visit is to identify the gaps, especially regarding the welfare of employees. Buthelezi further stated that other companies are complying with certain regulations, whilst others still need to work around that. The chairperson of the Eswatini Textile and Apparel Traders Toki House says there is a great need for a school that will train Emaswati with the specific skills that they are needed in the sector.
The training itosita ukuthi nalama factory lafikako atfole ukuthi atfole bantfu lapha singabe sesiba nale problem lesivame kuyibona sesihanjelwa abantu seba factory lefikako khanze ukuthi ngala igrowth ayisendeki seyawa kani kufuneka ukuthi sikhule kanye kanye konke kuphakame.
The textile and apparel sector in Eswatini employs over 15,000 people. For Eswatini, TV News Sondomlange Tamba Shabangu, Matsapa.
The director of microprojects, Busambingo, says they are looking for a model to involve the public in the rehabilitation of roads. Bingo said this when giving an account on what the department is doing to fix the country's roads, which continue to be damaged by rains threatening to cut off society from essential services.
Microprojects has stated that the department will soon embark on a drive to rehabilitate roads to ensure that Emaswati continue to have access to services.
Zamaqasha lamagrade siwaqasha abantu head mix abakhonkolo emahola siwathole sive sesithembisa ukuthi ukumasebenza.
In the year 2021, government released 48 million emalangeni for the rehabilitation of roads. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Mbonga Dube Mbabane.
The Eswatini Development Finance Corporation Managing Director Tumsan Msibi says the entrepreneurs that are financed by the corporation have opened great employment opportunities for Emaswati. Msibi says the FinCorp is working hard ensuring that poverty is eradicated. Msibi was speaking when the board of directors were touring projects financed by FinCorp.
The Eswatini Development Finance Corporation continues to deliver on its mandate of financing local businesses. On Friday, the company's board of directors had a chance to visit some of the projects, which includes the Board Center Furniture, Ngwindla Soft Drinks, among other companies. The managing director of the company, Dumisani Msibi, says the board's visit is crucial as it will help close the gaps that still exist.
Iwalalele Maswati kuthi sitakala kuhambe kufika yapi tikhona in la kunetikhala khona lekufuna tivalwe ngikuphi mhlawumbe la kwenteka kahle khona kuze ukuthi kuqiniswe ekugcineni kwakonke kutothi lokusebenta ajabule somabhizinisi lomncane lositakele ajabule na FinCorp ukuthi somabhizinisi lomncane usebenta kanjani. Sine project ke lesasukuma lenye yekwakha iNamnede icold drink emathapha under Inkwindla Investments Pty Ltd nayo silesayibuka isachubeka isakhiwa ikule kuletindzawo lapho khona kunabo Kellogg kuti maplot ahulumende ebusiness somabhizinisi lomncane wathola kusitakala wathola umhlaba.
Since the establishment of the company, FinCorp has dispersed 6.3 billion emalangeni, where 15,000 jobs opportunity are created. This has contributed a sum of 1.5 billion emalangeni to the country's gross domestic product. For Eswatini TV News on Mlangeni with Themba Shabangu, Manzini.
Inhloso likusasa lelichakazile NLL is an NGO which is in line with the mandate of youth empowerment through various initiatives which it carries out. The organization strives to improve the changes of young adults in Eswatini through education and mentoring.
In the Prime Minister's Cabinet statement on the 10th of February, it was highlighted that youth empowerment was amongst the country's core mandates. Ligusasa Letu is a youth center for employability's flagship project, which carries that out in a number of ways, including mentorship programs, workshops, and life skills training. They also have internships.
I've joined in 2021 lapho khona bangibhadalela school fees for kwenda early childhood care development education kaManzini elikusasa. Ngifole the opportunity ukuthi ngibe ngi-intern 2023 from January to June. Mina nje I'm responsible for the ECCD Resource Center, cover the library, youth products, whereby si promoter ema skills youth. Ukuthi noma ngibani lo fise kupromoter skills sakhe sebenze tandla akhona into letha la simthengisele, because we more like a shop, but it's promoted lokho ukuthi ulethe lokwenziwe ngetandla takho. Sinema workshops la khaya noma ufuna kuba ne meeting noma ufuna kwenda i-workshop with noma ngangibani ke lapho not youth, sinaso space, you are welcome.
Funded in 2014, the organization offers bursaries for tertiary training. Also, they help young people by offering them a variety of services, such as CV writing. Other services of theirs are free. The center is funded by the European Union and UNICEF. Reporting for Eswatini TV, Reggie Lamini and Themba Shabangu, Matapa.
And more news for you in the world of business as we take a look at how our markets fared today in our business report.
It can be.
Welcome back, and now for sports news. Mbabane Highlanders and Royal Leopards have promised their fans an entertaining clash when the two teams face each other in the MTN Premier League game that will be played at Mavuso Sports Centre. The team coaches say fans should come out in their numbers.
The Premier League games will continue this coming weekend, where amongst the big games, Mbabane Highlanders will take on Royal Leopard in a game with grudges as Mbabane Highlanders defeated the defending champions in the first round. But coaches have said this will be an entertaining game and hard to play.
It's not an easy game. It's a very tough game. We know Royal Leopard, we know their strength, we know their weaknesses. You can see itaba igame lemnanzi lebukelekako.
Good approach, mhlawumbe lesito approach ngayo igame Highlander. I've never approached a game with a defensive mind. All my games approaches is to press the team now as high as possible.
Babane Swalos has announced 1,000 tickets that will be available for their clash against Madlenya at the Prince of Wales. Swalos says they have ensured security will be tight as they have engaged the Mbabane police to help assist in maintaining order during the games. Fans who will be troublemakers will be arrested as the police will work with branch leaders to identify those fans. The Eswatini Special Olympics Association says they have received an invitation to participate in the Berlin World Games that will be hosted by Germany. President of the association, Luis Ngumalo, says even though the standard of the game has dropped because of not being active for some time, they are ready to work hard as they prepare for this game. The games will start from the 17th to the 25th of June 2023. Eswatini Athletics Secretary Thoba Mazibuko has been elected into the Technical Committee of the Confederations of African Athletics in the Southern Region. The committee is in charge of programs like educational workshops and competition organized by the federations and also development in general for the entire region. Mazibuko says they are grateful for the opportunity as it shows that administratively they are doing well as a country, and he believes this will take the sport further in the country. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizo Msibi, Mbabane.
Well, with those sports news, we've hit the home stretch of our news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of our top stories. The Minister for Labour and Social Security says his ministry is aware of the issues around the wage negotiations in the textile and apparel sector. The Ministry of Housing Portfolio Committee in the House of Assembly has asked the Minister of Housing to suspend local government elections because the country is preparing for national elections this year. And the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade says companies invested 440 million emalangeni in the country this financial year, creating 490 jobs. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, and that's all we had for you from the news desk. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the team here at Eswatini TV. Do enjoy the rest of the weekend. For now, it's good night and God bless.